fucking grandpa. He's way too slow. Let's get this show on the road. It's well funny to that guy. Hello, lurkers, and hello, you archaeologists. I'm the Johnstruct. I'm having a deadly premonition adventure. I definitely didn't spend 10 minutes faffing. It's been a couple of weeks since I played this game, which is what I said at the start of the last episode as well. And the reason I stopped is because the game was being a bastard. Yes, and that's it. That's the. But I'll come back. What I've done, I'll show you what I mean, because I'm pretty sure the thing I had to do, I will have to do again. Let's load up again. So yes. Yes, and there you go. The confirmation from people who are here live, there was no faff. The faff was but an illusion. Many snails were seen there. So yes, one thing I wanted to...
the investigation.
Oh,
I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen.
Thomas, did you see Nick here? No. When I got here, he was already like this.
What are you doing? Get out of the way! I'll do it!
George, stay back. She's trying to speak.
No! It couldn't be! Nick! Oh, please, no!
You got us good this time, Zach.
Probably start these with like a warning of sorts, due to the horror. Yes, let's hide that bar there. So I wanted to mention a couple things. One, I've changed my whole setup. I mentioned this before, but I want it on officially on camera that I'm now on a singular sofa. I've switched my big sofa out with this little sofa, and the whole point is to make the room much more open and inviting. I get my singular seat, my exercise machine is much closer, so I don't have to turn my TV whenever I use it. And like now people can sit on the sofa and it's sort of in a place not hidden away in the John corner of the room. The other thing I wanted to mention is obviously I've been using these snails a lot, which everyone loves. Everyone loves snails. Here are some canon snails. But, like, I've been meaning to do something. I've been working on a couple of things. I've just been doing it very slowly. It's just randomizing them is the easiest thing I can do with the snails. But one, I wanted them to be able to, like, chat and stuff. Not like AI snails, although I would love that. I wanted it so this, on a screen like such as this, people can have their own snails, specifically crawling about and chat up here. And that's something I meant to do, but completely forgot to do. Mainly because it's been a while since I played a game that I didn't play on full screen. Put the snails away. There are a couple of other things. One thing... with some zero index snails. One thing I should mention is I've been distracted recently because I didn't like how grey and patchy my beard was looking. And now it's really distracting because I've dyed it. I dyed my beard slightly, but it didn't do anything. So I did it twice, and then I did it way too badly. So now it's distracting for an entirely different reason. I know I should probably lie about that because of reasons. But it's if I'm looking over here, going, who's this weirdo? That's what I'm doing. Also, I do that to look at chat and to make sure I've got an expression on my face that makes sense. Like this. That's an expression. That's an example of what an expression looks like. Speaking of expressions. So yes, I know. It was annoying me. Yeah. Looks terrible now, though. It's because it went really grey over the course of the pandemic year, and I noticed it like a lot more. But it wasn't. It was obviously slightly not like. I didn't know how extreme it was until I dyed it, and I was like, oh, that's quite a lot. But so yes. But I figure people dye their hair all the time. Let's hit this. So, at the start of this dungeon, and let's call it a dungeon, it's an investigation, but we either hallucinate or... Yeah, I know what box is. I was like, I thought it looked fine at first. When it was in like the correct places, it looked fine, and then it was just like weird and patchy, and I just didn't like it. So, yes, this game. But yeah, it would have been fine had I just been a bit more subtle with the air dye as well, I imagine. Turns out that's a thing that also requires practice. Yes, this game. I went into this dungeon. This particular investigation starts with you fighting a new monster. I call it a mini boss, but I'm pretty sure it's just a normal enemy that took me like 15 minutes to fight with a submachine gun. And then at the end of the last stream, I came across that creature again, but I'd used up my submachine bullets. And I was like, yeah, what I'll do is in between streams, I'll run back to the vault and grab my shotgun. You can't. You're stuck here. You might be able to load a previous chapter because you're supposed to be able to do that and do side quests. And I've kind of been neglecting the side quests when perhaps I shouldn't have, because like I was looking up, how do I defeat this monster? And it's like, use the flamethrower, use the magnum. It's like, I don't have any weapons, let alone the good ones. Well, how do I defeat this with the normal weapon? And so I might have been able to quit, but I think if I did that, it'd reset this chapter to 0. So I'd have to do it all again, and I didn't want to do that. So, I believe, so what happened is I walked here, and a spooky lady called out the vent. I have done that fight off screen because I wanted to learn how to do that fight, and because I looked up that I'm going to have to immediately do it again. I think this is terrible. Like, it is in genuinely bad game design. Obviously, this game's known for its bugs and for being janky. So like, it's not like a mark off the game or anything like that. But like, I'm still allowed to fucking hate that you have to fight that enemy. Although I have become good enough to trivialize that particular enemy now. And if we have to fight that enemy again, which we shall, I'll show everyone how. I'd be tempted to just put it up on the internet. But that requires effort that I'm not willing to go through. Spooky ladies crawling around the vents. But yeah, I have... I suspect here. Yeah, there we go. So here's what you're naturally going to do. It's the same enemy with an even shorter corridor. Let's change my weapon to the custom. So you may remember this, you might not. But how I fought her the first time round is I'd wait for her to approach me. You cannot shoot her when she's invisible. But in the very last second, she becomes visible and then lights up and shoots you. Now, in this particular corridor, this is probably the way you're supposed to fight her, to be honest. Like that, you've got even less room. So yeah. But it turns out the way to kill her is to not run away. Also, this design seems incredibly crude. You just do that. You barely turn around. Just waiting. There we go. Just like that. It's still still going to take a while, but yeah, you don't run away. You just don't have time to do it if you do that. The aiming in this game is absolutely goddamn atrocious, though. And this is it. This is our next 10 minutes. I was kind of hoping no one would be here for this bit. Oh. I didn't run far enough. But it'll be fine. I'll let my game. I could have taken a health back. I'm not gonna. But yeah, I figured out how to fight her last night in preparation for this stream. Cool, I'm going to have to break all those boxes again. Thanks, game. It's still a rubbish fight, though. Yeah, I'm not super keen on the design. When the design looks fine when you're shooting it the normal way, just not the way I fight it. But the way I'm fighting it is the best way of fighting it. So I'll probably be quiet for this because I still don't want to screw up. I think there might be a quick turn round, but I don't know how to do it. As soon as you see those lights, you can turn around, basically. Use this opportunity to reload. Oh yeah, this is our next 10 minutes. Unless I make a mistake and then it'll be longer. When you get a good rhythm, you can get 4 shots in. So how's everyone there been? There we go. I've got time to reload every time. Got him for the ammo. Just here, doing a big fight. I don't know where you are. You went on a wall. It was confusing. Get back on the ceiling where I understand your behavior, Bill. I could probably put you on the ceiling if I just shoot you like that. Get on the ceiling! If I do it, she'll attack me. That's what I got. Accidental work is the worst type of work. Stupid aiming in this game. I might want to be on the other side actually, but there's no actual indication that I'm doing this correctly, but she will die eventually. Don't know why I turned that way, that was a stupid way to turn. Reload. There we go. I believe I've got to do that one more time. Which way did I come? That's the way I came. Let's lean back. Yeah, that's officially 3 times in a row the game has made me do this fight. This has got to be nobody's favourite fight. Whose fucking idea was this? Computer games. I need to be slightly higher as well. So yeah, I'm glad I did one of these off screen. The thing about looking up anything about this game is, well, you know, it's all from like a decade ago. I don't know. Maybe I updated without me knowing. Who knows? No! Ah! I think you're upset. I'm upset. I'm being invaded. This is an awkward time to be invaded, but hello invaders. I'm shooting a ceiling lady. I assure you that they deserve it. Reload. Well, I mean, she literally attacked me indiscriminately. I mean, this entire fight seems a bit rude, but yeah, I'm not super keen on how the game has forced me to do this, but this is the only way of doing it with the weakest weapon in the game. Oh fuck, that'll be fine. Reload. I was just like walking in a corridor, minding my own business, then 3 of these ladies in a row decided to attack me. I'm doing well, thank you very much. How are you doing? Oops, I just completely missed that. Reload. I know, obviously, you're just carrying on the conversation from before, but like from the perspective of like me doing this stupid fight for the last 20 minutes, it just sounds like, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but Yakuza's been great. Could be playing Yakuza right now. Rather than just shooting a lady in the leg. Let's get the Yakuza. There we go. I believe that is the final one. Oh, what do I get for that? A first aid kit. Don't even need it. Didn't take any damage. So yeah, I was saying before, I literally was stuck on this fight. I used an entire machine gun on the first of these ladies. Prospect of fighting 3 more was impossible. So I literally just had to practice until I got down a decent rhythm, and then I did this stream. Oh, I see. Yeah. Because I was running to the end and trying to shoot the lady right before she attacked me, which is how the game sort of presents the idea to you. But as it turns out, no, wait for the lady to pass you and immediately turn around and shoot her from behind. Or if you look on the internet, get a flamethrower. Am I going forwards or backwards? I cannot tell. Okay, that is backwards again. Anyway, no more of those people. Everyone can return now. I don't know why I didn't expect other people to be there. Nah, you know what? Fuck it. We don't need to fight anyone else. You know, unless I have to. I might. Oh no, I'm not. Why would I move myself? I'm in the correct place. There we go. Now I can get my shotgun out. Oh, I better actually, because like I don't want to be caught without it again. Why is Panda Bear an option? Oh, what's the point? I've got 7 bullets to it. Panda Bear. I don't know what Panda Bear means. Oh, was it a shop? I've got a chopper chop. This recovers hunger. Don't need hunger. Oh, hang on. You know what I should do? So I do that again to John. What, you gonna eat? Oh, actually, you're looking. I'm gonna buy me a sword. Panda bear. Saber. Or I want a sword. Ugh. Fine, I'll put stuff in the toolbox and then buy something. I've still got quite a lot of bullets. Buy ourselves a sword. What would be the easiest way to make myself a little bit higher? Would it be to tip the entire TV? Let's hello. Just a little bit. Okay. Hello again. Wonderful. Am I at an angle? Yes. But if I just lean at an angle, then you'll never know. Or I could fix it. I could just. Okay. There we go. Wonderful. Everything's fixed. Everything's working. Everything's great. Did I buy the sword? I'm finished. Let's go do things with the stuff. Drink my tea, which is well deserved. It's cold tea I've faffed for ages. Oh, woe is me. Let's save my game. No, I don't think I will shave him. Let's phone my dad. Ask him about Earthbound. Continue on with our adventure in this deadly place. But you could report on the phone. Right. We're in a strange place. Let's have a little bit of a nap. Does it heal you? Let's have a light sleep. Still got a light sleep. Yeah, it did heal me a bit. Cool. Interesting. Consume some chopper chops? I don't need to. Do I need to consume some chopper chops? I feel like my character's probably a little bit peckish. Look through my stuff. We're going to need more chopper chops. Right. Let's buy considerably more chopper chops and then continue on with the story. Panda Bear, yes. Everyone knows Panda Bear means you can buy Chupa Chups. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with all this money. Oh, I know it's in sets of 5, but I'll buy 5 anyway. Actually, I don't know if it's in sets of 5. Maybe that's just the limit. I'll buy 6. I can't carry any more. I'm at my Chupa Chup limit. Cool. Oh yes, I know how to get out of here. For a brief second, I did not think that was going to work. But then it did. Story of my life. Where's my katana? Hey, I thought I bought... Sorry, I'm just going to go back in there one more time. Who put a lock on this door? I came from here. Panda Bear. Acquired sword. Well, I'd definitely go to this time. Can I buy multiple swords? No. Well, one in my left hand, one in my right hand, and one in my teeth. Free sword style. The Roronoa Zorro method. Well, I couldn't possibly get past that rope. I'll walk in this direction. Interact with whatever that is. Oh, it's another one of these. There we go. I believed in you. There's a Chupa Chup. And a donut. Oh, yes. That's not what it looked like last time I saw it.
Nick.
You found Nick? Blood. I hope that's not Chris's blood. We've also found the museum director.
Agent Morgan, where are you? Answer me! Come on, open up!
So from their perspective, he just opened the door and just stood there for 2 weeks. This is our 3rd murder.
Diane?
George, call for assistance with the body.
Wait! She's still alive.
Okay, but last time it was a trap, so like, look for that.
Diane, don't move.
Try and catch her.
Don't move your hands and stay still.
George, it's no good. It won't budge.
Emily, stand back.
Why? That's just gonna break her fall. I know it's made out of spikes, but... Okay, no, it might be worth moving. No, no, it's not worth moving. Oh, you did the very thing you wasn't supposed to do.
George. not enough time.
George! Catch us!
Honestly, you could have just landed on the tree. Just don't aim for a spike. Yay! We saved someone, I think. That was me, I did that. I didn't press any buttons, but had I been given the option, you better believe that I would have pressed to do the save button.
Thomas! Call an ambulance!
What? What?
Agent York, George, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm too old to be an acrobat, though.
Diane looks okay too.
She doesn't.
She should be able to tell us who did this to her.
God, I hope so. But you, George, quite a catch. I'm impressed. Hmm?
George? Diane.
Maybe she's done quite well then.
Oh, yeah. What a beautiful beach. The reaching round who veer off into many directions, culminating in sharp voices glide away into nothingness, inspiring a truly deep eroticism in all who clear. Every woman will find herself about being penetrated by those sharp voices. This piece evokes unimaginable desire. And yet, this is far more than a wooden piece of art. It is a creation masterpiece by elegant
Diane?
themselves. Come closer. Begging speech.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
Diane! Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Huh.
Back off! Don't touch me!
Diane, no! Move!
Emily, hurry!
Well, that's very convenient. I'm starting to think that this police force is a bit rubbish.
I requested, and Thomas will need a body bag too.
Nick, quiet.
Can you hear hear that?
Hmm?
Yeah, it's a dog. Oh, that's because Kaysen's here. Because that's his dog.
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow Zach?
Yeah, sure. Anything to get away from this situation. So, I'm in a weird situation also. I thought that I accidentally saw who the murderer was in, like, pictures. Unfortunately, like, I had to gather all these materials in a case. I saw a screenshot, and I'd probably seen it loads of times before. But having played the game, seeing it one last time gave me, with additional context, I'm like, that's an interesting screenshot. But then, I'm not actually sure I did see the murderer, but I think I do know. I think I've had it ruined twice. I'm not 100% sure, though. I'm just going to keep going, though. I'm not going to say who I think it was, who I thought it was before. But it means I can't really speculate. There's also like a blood trail. Okay, apparently there wasn't a blood trail because it immediately stops. Where have you gone? Keep following the doggo. Yes. Oh, more blood. Yeah, I can...
Zach, Willie is calling for us.
But there's... Look, okay, fine. Don't fucking start again! I don't know if he did. I don't think I need the dog to follow this path. Are we just following out of politeness? Very stuffy. That way? Yeah, I'm sensing a pattern. Yeah, I can... I'm getting a sense that, like, I can see the blood as well, but we're being polite. We want the dog to think it's a good boy, and we'll just be like, oh, you took us right to it. There wasn't an obvious path to follow. Okay. What is it, boy? hope it's dog treats.
Willie, are you out there?
Kaysen, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Kaysen, stand away from the door.
So Kaysen is in FK in the coffee, but also is a plant salesman, as in the shoe salesman from Twin Peaks.
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane, to have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
No, what? Okay, no, sort of.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now?
Nobody tied her up to the ceiling in a spur of the moment.
We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out. Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window.
There's a window.
Then you showed up instead of Diane.
I want to explore that room.
Diane has become the third victim of our killer.
What's in that room he was in? I mean, that room.
And nada from questioning Nick. Nothing. Got no new leads from questioning Nick.
Well, she wasn't killed by the killer.
He's
She was
taken the
killed by a
death of
freak
Diane
accident
very
afterwards.
badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art, but he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder. They were about to head out to the bar again together, but while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold. He has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kaysen looks like a prime suspect, but that door was locked from the outside. There was no other way in or out of that room, which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots. But now that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kaysen go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now. One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed. His case is really getting to him. He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him, I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
Curious. Damn it, the word curious has been ruined by that image. Curious.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel. First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not
missing
looking
a
forward
C.
to writing this investigation report.
A, B, and D.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea. Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Let's go for a drink. Shall we?
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurts, Mama. Oh, I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees.
Well, there's no way this isn't relevant to the plot. I know I could have skipped the scene, but... like, why would you ever skip a scene?
Why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both.
How could you have saved Diane?
It's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber, and I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems, not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better.
I mean, they've just given him a pathology. Carol! I'm trying to... what's... The Always Sunny, when he's doing the conspiracy wall.
Hey, Carol.
See?
Becky is dead. Diane, too.
Anna, Becky, Carol,
We've got Nick
Diane.
in custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
Why did it skip Carol? And is there an Edith in this town? Or an Emma?
I'm busy, gotta go.
Or an Evelyn, Eve? Actually, I might be able to check. Look at that delicious turkey sandwich. What the words of this song are.
You are conscious of my innocence.
I dream of you. I got that lyric. Am I a bit quiet?
Just written out to know life is but a dream.
It's the piano man. He's the killer. He's the raincoat killer. Right, so it couldn't be Kaysen because we'd recognise his silhouette. Now, I know Heavy Rain fucking cheated with the silhouette. And I know lots of things cheat with the silhouette, obviously. But I don't know. I thought I'd give the game the benefit of the doubt. There obviously could be two killers. There's an implied supernatural element, obviously. But if you're going with Twin Peaks as an inspiration, the whole point is that it kind of works on both levels. Like, you can take all of the supernatural stuff out of Twin Peaks, and you'd still have a murder case that made sense, sort of. So, My brother is at the sheriff's department, isn't he? Poor guy, having to watch over Nick, who didn't even do anything. No, I don't think it was Nick. Nick is not one of my suspects. Rolling out Nick.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Zach.
Emily. Emily's an E.
Of the forest.
I'm an idiot.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not.
This is a nightclub where, like, all the women massively overdress for it.
But I'm pumped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
Ellen, you just...
I'm afraid I've already had enough.
You were holding the hands of a woman that was crushed to death.
I already had a good man with you.
Take a day off.
So I'll see you guys.
I mean, I know this is off time. You know what I mean? It's weird timing.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
It's a very blurry cup.
Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too.
No, it doesn't sound like it was. That's gross.
I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect.
I won't press the mother button.
She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step. We had our battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
A leaf?
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Country ham. That scene was country ham.
I had a good time tonight. Good night.
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes?
To York and Zach as well. Is there a person for every single letter of the alphabet?
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
I mean, I guess it's... No, because everyone calls him York. L M O It's perhaps a coincidence. Alright, so if I think I know who the killer is because I've got it spoiled, obviously I can't speculate certain details, like who's suspicious and stuff like that, and based on structure of the game. But like, it's weird that there's a pattern with the letters of the alphabet. You know, Anna, Diana. Hang on. Was there a B? Carol. Emily. Like A, B. Yeah, Becky. Anna, Becky, Carol, Diana, Emily. I mean, that's quite a coincidence. Let's go ahead. This way leads to those arrows. So because what I'm assuming is that the letters aren't like a literal clue, like the letters won't be a clue.
Really bad one around this time of year. 3 years ago. Remember, Zach? Yes, that's right. That one. Multiple homicide, same MO, across Utah, Colorado, and Missouri. The victims were all average married housewives. But after being run over so many times by the car, they didn't look human. 5 victims in 2 months in the 3 states. The way he killed them was always the same. But aside from that, there was nothing that linked the victims together. Well, they were all married. But age, race, nothing else matched up. Tire marks and fragments of paint ID'd the car that was used. That's where things got really tricky. The perpetrator used a 1993 model Cadillac Alante as a weapon. It was registered in the name of one Senator... No, I don't feel like talking about this anymore. That senator's basement. I wish I could forget what I saw there.
So yeah, what was I saying? So there are 2 types of clue, right? There's one that's like going to be directly referenced, but sometimes, and this happens a lot in Japanese games, you'll get like bonus clues, that like a thematic clues that if you notice it's a bonus. You know, good for you for noticing the heights. Dan Cameron I'm thinking of. has the heights thing. Never ever comes up in the game, but if you're paying attention to people's heights, it's important. So why is that information in the game? It's not going to ever come up. And so I'm assuming the alphabet thing is one of those bonuses that won't actually come up. There is obviously Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders. There's a classic precedence, but I don't know if that's one of the inspiration points of this game. I also, because it's a weird Japanese horror game based in Twin Peaks, I don't know how solvable the mystery's supposed to be. Glad we know that's a typewriter. Both him and George have scars.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
Okay.
From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes. Do you remember what that was, Zach? That's right. Diane was still alive. This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was somewhere near the scene. There are two possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other. Zach, who is the other person in the gallery?
Why are they so quiet compared to the music? HKQ.
That's right. Kaysen. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Kaysen's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did Kaysen hear when he was locked up? That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However, immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest. Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
No.
Me too. Asha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer. Remaining leads. There is the locket, which is in Carol's possession, the man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Okay, let's say Kaysen did it. He would need an accomplice to lock the door afterwards. It would
Zach,
be a
what did you
classic
think
locked
about
room
George
mystery as
pouring his
well.
heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Yeah, everyone's got mononyms. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one for every letter of the alphabet.
Emily?
Even Willie.
What's going on?
W.
Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly. Baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking.
That's why I have quiet sugar as well.
We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Oh, it's me.
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time.
So Zach is his version of Diana from Twin
when
Peaks.
I was a child.
Because in Twin Peaks he's always talking to a tape recorder. But in this game it's implied to be the player.
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love.
That's why he taped over the Teletubbies.
When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends. I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me...
I feel like he'd fail his psych profile.
And here we are.
Not in Twin Peaks land, obviously,
together.
but in
Getting through things.
real world, which I guess this isn't
This is
set
the
in.
first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
There's a neck crease.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
Oh yeah, York, I forgot to thank you.
Thank me.
So yeah, less than like 24 hours ago,
You saved my life.
She got crushed. She was holding the arm of somebody who got
If you didn't
crushed.
save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
Zach, do you think Emily got home safely? Anyway, I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought.
Smoke in bed?
Do you remember our conversation with Emily? She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you. If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed. Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Sure, we should probably wait until after the investigation as well.
Thomas! Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please! Just for a moment. 1 second. Hate it in here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there! Come on, please! Thomas! 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 Thomas!
Son. Oh, that bass seems surprised. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so I think I thought I saw a screenshot which I thought ruined the game for me. And I think it didn't, but I think I have since seen. I don't actually think I know who the killer is, but I think I might know who the killer is. And it wasn't who I thought it was. Specifically, I know who's with Carol right there. And it's quite early in the game. I thought that person who was with Carol, because basically I've seen a screenshot. If you look up Deadly Premonition on Google, you're gonna eventually see a screenshot with that character on. And I was like, hang on, I know who you are. And I assumed, because that person isn't immediately seen like that, I assumed it was a disguise or some sort, and that was the killer. But what I forgot is that games have red herrings. Mysteries have red herrings. So I'm actually super glad that this person isn't the killer if they're not the killer. I really didn't want them to be the killer. But I do know who that is. I'm not going to say, because for anyone watching along and trying to figure out themselves, I don't want to ruin it. Because they've not seen. I've got information that I shouldn't have. I've seen that character at an angle that makes it means I can deduce more information.